Let us configure the personal firewall. To edit firewall rules and settings, click Personal Firewall, either from the main menu or from the left-hand side menu. On the top, we can see that we use recommended settings. We have the option to customize these settings as well, if necessary. Then we see some statistics, and we have the option to enable or disable the firewall, depending on the current state. Disabling the firewall will leave your computer unprotected from attacks, but this can be useful for troubleshooting purposes. The lock button will lock all access to the network, and no traffic to or from the computer will be allowed through the firewall. We have the Clear Session Rules button, which will delete all session-based firewall rules. And we have a new Clear Block Rules button, which can be useful if you by mistake have denied an application access to the network. With this button, you'll clear all outgoing block rules, and the next time an application requires network access, you'll be prompted to allow this. To access expert tools such as Rule Editor, Real-Time Log Utility, and Advanced Port Viewer, you can click the Expert Tools. The expert tools are available both from the main menu and also from the left-hand side menu. Within the expert tools section, we have the rule editor, where you can create and modify and delete existing rules. The real-time log utility, which will let you monitor network-related activity and view and change configuration details. The advanced port viewer lets you view port status and access the corresponding rule. And the last two expert tool options are the export and import of personal firewall rules and settings. We will have a look at the rule editor in a separate webcast, so let us start to look at the real-time log utility. From the real-time log utility, you can see current traffic status for different applications and the rule associated with the traffic. From the drop-down menu, you can decide if you want to view the real-time log for outgoing traffic or server privilege requests. You return to the previous menu by clicking Close. To view port status, you click the Advanced Ports Viewer. From the Advanced Ports Viewer, you can see the port status for all active ports. You can also edit the associated rule or advanced configuration option associated with the rule by selecting the rule and then open the configuration directly in the Advanced Ports Viewer. Click Close to return to the previous menu. If you wish to export your firewall rules and setting, you can do this from the Export Personal Firewall Rules. Choose location to save to and hit OK. You can also import personal firewall rules and settings, but note that doing this, you will delete your existing rules and settings. Let us go back to the Personal Firewall main menu. The Personal Firewall is delivered from Norman with the recommended settings. But if you want to view, review, or modify these settings, you can do this by either clicking Customize Settings from the main window or clicking these settings in the menu on the left-hand side. The settings of the Personal Firewall consist of outgoing applications, server privileges, and advanced settings. In the Outgoing Application section, you select the behavior of the firewall when applications without rules try to connect to the network. The default setting is Prompt when you use the Inexperienced User option, Normal mode. Then you can evaluate an application that tries to go online and define a rule for this application. The other alternatives are Deny, in which case all programs without a rule are denied access to the network. And then we have the Allow, in which case all programs without a rule are allowed access to the network without user interaction. From the Server Privileges section, you select the firewall's default behavior for when an application tries to accept a connection from the network. The default setting is prompt, so you can evaluate if an application should accept an invitation. The alternatives are deny and allow. To access the advanced settings, click the Advanced Settings tab. The advanced settings are intended for expert users. Here you, for example, can configure settings for file sharing, internet services, Windows internals, logging options, and operating system options. There are numerous of advanced configuration options, and some of them are not self-explanatory for the normal user. Please use the online help for a detailed explanation of all options, and you can access the help file from the help button in the top right corner. Remember that you need to click Save if you make any modifications to the advanced settings. And also remember that you can always go back to recommended settings by clicking Use Recommended Settings at the top of the page.